It's more like yarg.
Oh, well, whatever.
Well, if you get rid of the Y.
You know, when people fly through space and the background is stars flying by, my brain automatically shoots. My brain automatically shouts, "That's not what flying through space would look like. The stars wouldn't move that fast. You're not that close to them. They're way far away in the distance."
Oh no,
And I'll be there to barge into your room and hit you in the head and say, "Shut up."
This is Mario. This is Mario World. There's lots of stars. That's where his invincibility comes from. Also, there's like 120 of these things all over the place. So anyway, now we're on the moon!
So here we are on the moon.
And just because you're on the moon, you move extra slow and jump extra slow.
Yeah,
And high.
and there's a bunch of hidden stuff to find on the moon. Thankfully, none of it's really all that important. I recommend keeping out the Yoshi because you walk around normal speed when you're riding the Yoshi on the moon. So, yeah.
Okay, so list of objectives. We have to fight Bahamut.
Oh, yeah.
Boy head. And
I guess you could also go
Oh,
for
it's-
that secret shop, too, where you could buy shit.
oh, the Hummingways.
Yeah.
Yes, we can do that too. Or not. I'd rather not.
There's also
But
that
people
gigantic
creep me.
cavern on the moon where, everybody's side quest is, but you gotta fight the final boss like 3 times.
Oh, the Lunar Ruins. Oh,
Yeah.
fuck that place. I hate that place. Bunch of random ass cheap bullshit.
Yeah, but
So
you
look
gotta
forward to it for our BrainScratch run.
Yeah, but
We'll also be seeing 90 sports cars driving around because that's the final secret level in Cruising the World.
wait, but that's not cruising the world, that's cruising the moon. The moon's not on the world.
And here we see Mario using Renzo Kuken to wipe out the enemies.
Well, I got unlucky and ran into 4 of these guys at one time, and I fuck it up.
Oh, you missed.
Yeah, so
Oh, no, I'm going to do 6 instead of 7.
no,
Or
I'm gonna
5.
do 5 instead of 6, which means that I don't get to insta-kill any of these guys. Oh, and guess what? The curse goes back to being useless almost immediately because they're improving Mario's defense when Goombella's in the front row. Thankfully, I can super guard, and I don't need your higher defense anyway. Because
Yeah, these guys are pretty easy to superguard.
yeah, it's a very simple motion. They just ram at you. So
Man, this sort of reminds me of when I'm playing Fire Emblem and my characters are just so beefed up that when an enemy attacks them, they dodge and then counterattack and kill the enemy.
yeah,
And I can literally win the fight by standing there.
yeah, that tends to happen for me more in, at least in my experience, that happens to me way more in Awakening than it does in Fire Emblem.
Yeah,
7.
because the support system in Awakening is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's glorious.
man, by the time this video goes up, Fates won't be out yet, but I hear that they nerfed supports in
They nerfed it and enemies can do it too.
yeah, so
Yeah, probably for the better, because honestly, supports in Awakening, while the additions to the system were interesting, I think it was a bit too powerful.
well,
Too
I
potent.
do like having them on the, because the whole theme of that game is that our friendship is literally powerful enough to defeat time itself. So, in that sense, it better be broken.
Just gotta balance the mechanics that you introduce is all, and
Yeah.
sometimes when RPGs introduce entirely new mechanics, they don't balance them correctly, which is why RPGs tend to have 2 or 3 different releases for every game.
Yeah. Thankfully, Awakening botched that, and it's really only stupid broken in like normal mode. Because when you're playing on hard, Lunatic, or God forbid, Lunatic Plus, you really need to take advantage of all the supports you can get, because those modes are difficult in what I would consider to be the wrong way. But
Yeah.
that's a topic for when we eventually do get around to doing Fire Emblem Awakening. But yeah. So anyway, the moon is actually spherical because it's like that. So you can either walk all the way to the left or all the way to the right to get where you're going to go. I believe the X-Naut Fortress is on the underside of the moon, if you were thinking about it in terms of it being a sphere. So it doesn't matter which way you walk, you will
Are you
always
sure
walk the
it's a
same.
sphere? Because it looks really flat. I'm thinking circle, like flat circle.
Yeah, that's more what I mean. You can't go forward and backward. You can only go left and right. It's more like a wheel, actually, is probably the best way to put it. So you will walk. I'm almost positive you will walk the same amount of rooms if you go from the left to the right or the right to the left. So just keep on going in one direction, and eventually you will find it. I don't think there's anything major to find in any of the areas, just like random consumable items, I think is all you will ever really
Right.
get. So it's not really too big of a deal if you miss anything.
Here's my question: why are the piranha plants watching a play?
Um,
They don't have eyes or ears.
Not that we can tell.
Gameplay wise or logically? Because gameplay wise, each audience member has different statistics. So I don't remember what the piranha plants are, but toads are more likely to throw helpful items. Characters like Goombas are more likely to throw things like cans at you. Hammer Brothers will throw hammers. I believe dry bones do not give any star power. There's a bunch of different, and the big bob-ombs take 2 seats and can explode. Things like that. So you do have to keep an eye out on what your audience layout is at any given point. I do not remember what the piranha plant specific thing are. I think they're just kind of random audience fodder for the most part. They just are kind of there to be a generic, like, kind
They
of neutral.
may bite nearby audience members, causing them to run away.
Oh, okay. That must be very rare because I do not remember seeing it very often.
Man, that's kind of a worthless trait to have when all the audience members are piranha plants.
They're just biting each
Almost
other.
all of
Not
them.
even paying
There are-
attention to the show. I spent really hard on this show.
there are actually a few little. Yeah, there are a few little moogled bobblehead things sticking.
Oh yeah,
out
those
of
are
the
the punies.
Jeez, yeah.
Yeah. Your audience layout is sometimes random. It's sometimes dependent on the situation. You can get an eclectic mix of enemies. Sometimes, but sometimes you will get all of one enemy. It depends on the fight itself. So I think the piranha plants would be more likely to do something like bite the other party members if they were like one in a bigger crowd, which you generally only see for boss fights and things like that.
Exactly. I have a list here of what
I know
different
that-
audience members do.
I know that Luigi will throw really good items at you, but he's pretty rare to encounter.
Yeah. Boo's may turn a character invisible.
Oh, they can also turn enemies invisible too. I hate those assholes.
Yeah. Bulky bomb-ombs may explode, causing people to run away. They also take up 2 seats, the fat fucks. Crazy daisies may sing, causing most of the audience to fall asleep, which means you don't get star power.
Yeah.
Dull bones, you are right on the nose. They don't give star power under any circumstances.
Yeah.
Goombas don't do anything.
They don't.
well, I
I
mean,
thought they were
they
more likely to throw bad items at you.
They can try it. It just says they may throw items, but that's it. Nothing special about them. Hammer Bros, same thing, but they throw hammers.
Yeah.
Koopa Troopas hide in their shells, which means you don't get star points.
I've never seen that ever. I've never seen a Koopa Troopa hide in a shell before.
Yeah.
That's
we
interesting.
talked about Luigi. Yeah, it gives you very rare items if satisfied. Piranha plants we already discussed. Punies will run away if there's a loud noise. So
Yeah.
I'm guessing star power.
Sigh.
I should note that if characters leave the audience because you mess up action commands or stuff like that, you get more. You by doing action commands successfully, you will get more people to join your audience, and by getting action commands unsuccessfully, sometimes they'll leave because they think that the show is boring.
Yeah.
So it adds
there's-
another incentive to do well in fights as opposed to just getting more damage.
Yeah.
So
Or to do purposely bad if your audience sucks.
well, it would take a really long time to get the entire audience down and then back up again, especially considering that your average audience number will be the same between each fight, but it'll be a completely different set of people each time you start a new battle. So if you get a bad arrangement for one fight, it's just better to bear with it and then get a new fight and get a new audience the next time.
Fair enough.
Yeah, there's also a bunch of random stage effects that can happen too, like props will fall on your head, water will come down from the sky, which will, I think, cure poison. The lights will fall off the stage, which I think will do a damage to
the
you,
best thing about the airport.
yeah, the well, no, like the stage light will fall on your head, which I think does 1 damage if you don't guard, but it gives you the electrified status.
Those can all be instigated by the Shy Guys.
Yeah,
Shy members. And the only ones I have left here are Toads. They give 3 times as much star power. And finally, as the moon will dictate, I guess, X-Nauts.
Oh yeah, X-Nauts are assholes. I think they're the most likely to throw things at you.
They throw rocks at the front character, dealing a large amount of damage.
Yeah, they're dicks. But this is the X-Naut Fortress, which is the place that we've actually been exploring with Peach in all of the different Peach sections that we've had throughout the game. I really like this place. When we actually get to exploring the dungeon next time, I will explain more why, because it's more of a stylistic thing. It's just, I love the detail in this area, especially considering the fact that, like, you can see Mario constellations in the background. Like, there's a flower right there. There was a chain chomp, I think, a star, and a mushroom. It's just, there's a lot of care put into this area to make it feel very Mario-like, even though it's just kind of like the moon, which is very desolate when you think about it. So, it's just, there's a lot of character put into the smallest parts of this game, and I can never dodge that attack. The one where they jump high in the air. It's the timing on that is always very weird to me. And it should be easier because it's a slower attack than the one where they just ram at you really quick. But for some reason, I never have too much trouble trying to dodge that one for whatever reason. So, yeah.
Sometimes it's actually pretty easy for something to mess with your sense of timing by being slower.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's the whole reason for in tennis games why the drop shot is effective, because when you do that, the ball just kind of piddles out at the front of the court, and if you're not, it's about your expectations, really. It's more of a mental thing than anything else. So yeah. But anyway, not only does the X-Naut Fortress have what I think is one of the most interesting dungeon layouts, but also some of the best music. But we'll be hearing more of that next time.
Absolutely.